on a journey through insightful discussions at the Bengaluru Roundtable featuring key voices shaping India's future. Organized by the Karnataka chapter of the Forum for Democracy and Communal Amity, this event provides a snapshot of perspectives on the upcoming Lok Sabha elections 2024 and broader societal challenges. Engineer Salim, Vice President JIH, sets the stage, emphasizing unity and education to confront misguided ideologies. Drawing parallels with historical struggles, he charts a path to overcome present challenges. Watch the video for his impactful insights.
मुझे लगता है कि ये डिस्कशन शुरुआत है उस एक्टिविज्म की, उन कामों की जो हमको समाज में, सोसाइटी में जाकर करना है और पूरे देश में एक तब्दीली आनी चाहिए, एक बदलाव आना चाहिए। उस पर नेशनल फोरम भी और स्टेट के जो फोरम्स हैं हमारे, वो भी बराबर सोच भी रहे हैं और कुछ प्रोग्राम और मंसूबा भी बना रहे हैं। चुनौती बहुत बड़ी है, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है। ख़तरा भी बहुत गंभीर है इस देश के सामने, इसमें भी कोई संदेह नहीं है। लेकिन मैं समझता हूँ कि इस चुनौती का सामना हम कामयाबी के साथ कर सकते हैं। इससे बड़ी बड़ी चुनौतियाँ भी हमने इससे पहले देखी हैं और उनका सामना किया है। हमने इस देश को आज़ाद कराया। आज़ादी की लड़ाई 1857 में पहली लड़ाई शुरू हुई और तकरीबन 90 साल तक एक पूरी तारीख, पूरा इतिहास है संघर्ष का, बलिदान का, सेक्रीफाइस का, और एक इतिहास है हमारी एकता और यूनिटी का, और इतिहास है इस बात का कि उस लड़ाई को, आज़ादी की उस लड़ाई को हमने अपनी धर्म और आस्थाओं पर मजबूती से रहते हुए, अपने धर्म और अपनी आस्थाओं की पहचान को बरकरार रखते हुए, कई मसलों में अलग अलग राय होते हुए भी एक दूसरे का आदर और सम्मान करते हुए हमने सबने मिलकर इस देश के लिए कुर्बानियाँ दी और देश को आज़ाद कराया। ये बात मैं इसलिए अर्ज़ कर रहा हूँ, यही था डिस्कशन का कि 2024 के इलेक्शन में राजनीतिक परिस्थितियों को कैसे बदला जाए। लेकिन बातचीत और गुफ्तगू में लॉन्ग टर्म जो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हम सोसाइटी में लाना चाहते हैं, जो बिगाड़ आ गया है समाज में, पैदा कर दिया गया है, उसको कैसे हम ठीक करें और कैसे उसको हम करेक्ट करने की कोशिश करें, तो वो एक लॉन्ग टर्म मंसूबा है, उस पर भी काम करेंगे हम। लेकिन अभी ज़्यादा फोकस हमको इस बात पर करना है कि 2024 में पॉलिटिकली इन ताकतों को कैसे कमज़ोर किया जाए और कैसे इनको पावर से हटाने की मुहिम को कामयाब बनाया जाए। ये बात बहुत अहम है और इस पर आप सब विचार कर भी रहे हैं, करते भी होंगे। और अभी आपने पिछले दिनों कर्नाटका में जो एक्सपेरिमेंट किया, जो कोशिशें की सिविल सोसाइटी ग्रुप्स ने, यहाँ के सोशल एक्टिविस्ट ने, उसका नतीजा आपने देखा और सामने आया और उससे पूरे देश को एक हौसला भी मिला। और ये एक्सपेरिमेंट और ये कोशिश पूरे देश में दोहराई जानी चाहिए और मैं समझता हूँ कि पूरे देश में ये चीज़ दोहराई जा सकती है। असंभव नहीं है, मुश्किल ज़रूर है लेकिन असंभव नहीं है। और हालात ये बता रहे हैं कि अगर सही जगह पर, सही नब्ज़ पर हाथ रखा जाए इस आवाम का, तो पॉलिटिकली भी सिचुएशन बदली जा सकती है और मुझे तो उम्मीद है कि बदलेगी। लेकिन ये बात सही है, अगर खुदा न खास्ता पॉलिटिकली हम सिचुएशन को नहीं बदल पाए तो भी निराश होने की आवश्यकता और ज़रूरत नहीं है। उसके बाद भी हमें एक दूसरे तरीके से काम करने की ज़रूरत है। लेकिन अभी मैं मानता हूँ कि पॉलिटिकली भी इन ताकतों को 2024 के इलेक्शन में डिफीट किया जा सकता है। समाज में भी हालात बता रहे हैं, बस ये कि सही लोगों तक पहुंचने की ज़रूरत है। जैसा कि शास्त्री जी ने भी बताया हमारा जो आउटरीच है वो उनसे आगे बढ़कर होना चाहिए। वो तो आउटरीच कर रहे हैं, वो अपने दायरे को धीरे धीरे बढ़ा रहे हैं। जो लोग अभी तक उनके दायरे में नहीं थे उसको भी वो लाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं अलग अलग तरीक़ों से, किसी को लालच देकर, किसी को डरा कर, किसी को इमोशनली चार्ज करके, किसी को नफरत का फार्मूला देकर, किसी न किसी तरीके से वो अपने दायरे को बढ़ा रहे हैं। लेकिन मैं समझता हूँ, जैसा कि यहाँ बात आई है, हमें अपना आउटरीच करने की ज़रूरत है उन लोगों तक जो अभी उनके साथ हैं, या जो अभी उनके सपोर्टर्स हैं, या जो अभी उनके वोटर्स हैं। उन तक पहुंचने का एक ब्लूप्रिंट बनाना पड़ेगा। ये बात बिल्कुल सही है कि हम अपने ही अपने दरमियान बात करते रहेंगे, उसका फ़ायदा बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं होगा। इसलिए इस बात की ज़रूरत है कि हम आउटरीच बढ़ाएं और उन लोगों तक पहुँचें जिनको यहाँ कहा गया है कि जो अभी कन्वर्ट नहीं हुए हैं। मैं इसको ज़रा उल्टा कहना चाहता हूँ, हम कन्वर्टेड नहीं हैं, हम ओरिजिनल हैं, हम अपनी नेचुरल उस पर हैं। जो उनके साथ है वो कन्वर्ट हुए हैं। और
Shiv Sundar dissects 5 constitutional impacts highlighting the need for youth engagement in rational discussions. His perspective on economic Adanization to ramification of the Rashtra adds depth to the conversation. Dive into the video for more.
ನಾನು 2024 ನಂತರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಅನ್ಕಂಡು. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಇತಿಹಾಸದಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಪಾಠ ಕಲಿಯೋಣ. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಹಂಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. 240 220 ಬಂದು NDA ನಿಂತೋಯ್ತು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಿಚಡಿ ಪಕ್ಷಗಳು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 20 ಜನ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. BJP ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೆಂಬಲಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀವಲ್ಲ ನಾವು 80ರ 90ರ ದಶಕದ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಇತಿಹಾಸ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋರಿಗೆ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತು, BJP ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಆದರೆ ಒಂದೇ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೋದಿ ನಾನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಮರ್ಥ ನಾಯಕ, ನಾನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಸ್ಥಿರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಹಿಂದೂಗಳ ಗೌರವವನ್ನು ನಾನೇ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಬಂದರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಬಂದರೆ 20 ವರ್ಷ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. ಸೊ ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಮನವಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, 2024ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಯೋಚಿಸ್ತೀನಿವೋ 2024ರ ನಂತರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆಯೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಯೋಚಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಮನವಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿದ್ಧತೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮಗಿಂತ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಮುಟ್ಟಾಳರು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರೂ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇತಿಹಾಸದಿಂದ ಪಾಠ ಕಲಿಯೋದವರು ಭವಿಷ್ಯವನ್ನು ನಿರ್ಮಿಸಬೇಕು. ಸಂವಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾದಂಥ 5 ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಗಳು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು, ಅದಾನಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ. 2ನೇದು ಮೋದಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾಲಿಟಿ. 3ನೇದು ಅರ್ನಬೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ. 4ನೇದು ಅಯೋಧ್ಯಾಯಿಸೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಜುಡಿಷಿಯರಿ. ಮತ್ತು 5ನೇದು ರಾಮಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ. ಇದನ್ನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ತಡಿತೀವಿ? ಇದು ಚುನಾವಣೆಗಳು ತಡೀತವ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಈ 5 ತಡೆದ್ರೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ.
President Narendra laments disappointment surrounding January 22nd Ram Temple inauguration, addressing biases in the Ayodhya dispute and the shift from constitutional Raj to Rama Raj. Explore these concerns further in the video.
And I think fundamentalism is a phenomenon not just in India, but it's a phenomenon around the world. We're seeing the rise in terms of be it Donald Trump or be it the question of right-wing groups in other parts of the world. You're seeing that challenge rise before you. Why is this so challenging at this particular moment? So it's a real challenge which you face. And again, the question we have to ask is this deeper level or deeper question of inequality, which is resulting in the kind of purchase that this phenomenon of religious fundamentalism really has. Which means then, in our analysis of the problem, we signpoint the idea of economic inequality and the growing levels of inequality, and we say we have to find a way to deal with this question of inequality. That I think there's a certain kind of emotional power which the BJP is able to harness. We saw that on Jan 22nd in terms of the range of examples which we talked about. The idea that you're part of something larger, you're part of something called the Hindu community, you have the sense of power which comes from being a Hindu. Those are the languages which they're able to mobilize. And they're able to mobilize those languages because people feel a sense of alienation, people feel a sense of disconnection, people feel a sense of atomization.
Dr. Muhammad Taha Mateen, Director, Acura Hospital, moderating the panel, Dr. Muteen ensures diverse perspectives. The discussion, including Mr. M.F. Pasha, IPS retired, General Secretary FDCA, delves into minority community challenges.
We need to realize that change is in the air today. Change is in the air. From the constitutional Raj, we are supposedly going towards Ram Raj. From a green and white and saffron flag, we are moving towards a only saffron, not a rectangular but some other flag. From January 15th, 26th, we are moving to January 22nd as our cherished day. From August 15th, we are moving to August 6th as the day of our freedom. We are moving those dates, we are moving our flags, we are moving our colors, we are moving our constitution, and we need to see that with our eyes, understand which direction it's going in. Therefore, it's a serious challenge for the thinking, spiritual, traditional, humane, secular people who cherish that democracy and those ideals. By the way, the best society in the world is a society which treats the weak people well. सबसे ज़्यादा कमज़ोर जो लोग हैं उनको अगर the handicapped, the poor, the weak, the kidney fail and whatever, I mean people who are the young, the handicapped, if the minority. If a society can take care of its weak and minority, that's a great society. Not really bridges and steel buildings and bullet trains. That's not the measure of a great society. It has never been. It's actually the values that underlie that.
Brinda Adige sheds light on patriarchal dynamics impacting women. Advocating for genuine representation, she discusses the tokenization of women in politics. Uncover more insights by watching the video.
Patriarchy is very deep in our society and in our country. And sadly, we women have been given the charge to propel patriarchy. And like everything else that we do so wonderfully well, we do this also. If patriarchy is surviving today, it is because we women have allowed it and continue to strengthen patriarchy. Because we are constantly told, you're not doing this well, you're not doing that well, do it better, and so we do it better. Because we listen so much to men, even though we know we must not listen. मैं सच बोल रही हूँ. Now that said, if you look at from the first Lok Sabha to date, about 4 to 5% in the first Lok Sabha, today we have about 14 to 15% of women in the Lok Sabha. That is statistically what the mother of democracies, I don't know, should it be proud of claiming itself? Mother of democracies, 15% is the number of women that we have allowed. The other aspect, we may talk about how women must be brought into the political foray, into the arena, and the strength that they have. But you and I know that most political parties and political leaders take it upon themselves to select that woman who can be the token face up there. Very few women have worked themselves up and have really gone forward. Now coming to the present regime. 2019 saw a huge turnout of women coming out to vote. Why? Did they become very aware that this is now my time to go out and vote? Why is it that many people came out? Because we know all around the world also, most dictators speak the language that women love to hear and listen. When you tell the woman loudly, publicly, without you, there's nothing that we can do. Of course, you and I know it's a lot of hot air when they make these statements. But that said, they come out there and voted. So this particular party had women at every level, from booth level to wherever. They also fielded the highest number of women. So you had these women coming out and voting, usually when they don't come out. We have seen both in our panchayats and across spaces where there are women sitting in positions of power that they are more concerned with health, they are more concerned with education, they are more bothered about all the issues that affect us as families, communities, and at the end of the day, as a country. And today when we are talking about women, we want to ask ourselves how far we would allow religious tenets that suppress and oppress women to become a political face. Because that is what is wrong that we are doing. Our space of political engagements with our elected representatives seem to be only from a threshold of a temple. And that is why it is important that churches and mosques start talking about this to their women, to their men, and to our young people. And let us remember, people are scared when women power gets together. We have seen it in the anti-CAA, we have seen it with women in Jharkhand, in Chhattisgarh, women in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, and to a large extent in Karnataka also. And when women can come together, there is much more that we are able to achieve. We do not want to put down men, but we want to tell men, walk along with us. Don't tell us to walk along with you.
Trilochan Shastri urges bold statements from Muslim leaders emphasizing respect for Hinduism. Dispelling forced conversion, he emphasizes the need for communal harmony. Catch his impactful words in the video.
To the converted, जो लोग हमारे बात से सहमत हैं हम उन्हीं से बात कर रहे हैं यार ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಚಾರ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯದಿಂದ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಅವರ ಜೊತೆನೇ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Now we have to talk to the people who do not agree with us. We are slowly getting into a comfort zone where we only talk to each other and say देश बर्बाद हो रहा है, आपने भी अच्छा बोला, आपने भी अच्छा. Everybody is saying the nice thing. It is not going to help because they won 3 state elections recently. Whatever we may say, EVMs was this thing, that thing, whatever it is, at the end of the day, 3 state elections they won. The country is in such a situation that straight talk is required. Now, first thing I will say is, we have to get into the minds of those people who are, in spite of all the criticisms that he and so many others have said, constitution is bad, minorities are this thing, law and order is bad, targeting is done, corruption is there, arrogance, all faults are there. In spite of that, people are voting for them. Why? Let us try to understand. Each one of us can have our own analysis of why they are voting. That thinking, if you understand, we have to change it. Usko badalna hai. Why are people voting for one party again and again in spite of all the problems? And how do we change the thinking? So instead of getting into a big professor in philosophical analysis, I have 3 or 4 concrete suggestions. Number 1 is that the most powerful people in the country, wo darpok hain, they are cowards. I'll tell you why I'm saying this. People are voting for a strong leader because the strong leader is brave and bahadur. Because he is murdering Muslims and Christians, they don't care. They say बिल्कुल ठीक कर रहा है. हम बारंबार छप्पर फाड़े, मतलब जितनी बार हम बोले कि भाई इनके ऊपर जुल्म हो रहा है, वो उससे कुछ नहीं फर्क पड़ता है. Voters will again vote for those people because of the reason that we think is bad, they think it is good. We are not able to understand this. जिस जुल्म के लिए हम उनको नकारते हैं, उसी जुल्म के वजह से उनको वोट देते हैं लोग. ये हमको समझना है. मैं सीधी बात बोल रहा हूँ. Therefore, that minorities are under threat, Christians under threat, ये भाड़ में जाए. What we have to tell is कि ये डरपोक आदमी है. Number 2, आपको दगा दे रहा है. He is cheating you. This fellow is individually. Whom is he cheating? He is cheating Hindus. He is cheating ordinary Hindus. Not that he is cheating Muslims. वो हिंदुओं के ऊपर ही जुल्म कर रहा है, हिंदुओं को ही बुद्धू बना रहा है. और तीसरी बात और भी प्रोवोकेटिव है. अभी मेरे कई दोस्त हैं in IIMs, corporates, and many people. And only day before yesterday, the founder of a large 500 or 1000 crore company, he is from one of the top institutes in the country, and he came from an ordinary family, now a highly intelligent fellow. He's running a very large company, and he was saying on 22nd January, इतना एनर्जी मिल रहा था, हमारे पूरे कंपनी में लोग इतना वो हो गए थे, तो मैं सुनता रहा. Then he says that there was a talk of a 1000-year regime. Hitler also used the word 1000-year Reich. So he little cooled down. Now these kind of things are energizing and motivating the intellectuals and ordinary citizens of this country who are mainstream Hindus. You people do not interact with them. अब उसको क्या करना है? Now behind all this drama is one thing they have floated around the country कि हिंदू धर्म खतरे में है. और अच्छे अच्छे लोग मानते हैं, many people feel that Hindu religion is indeed in great threat. Now, I know that you people will not have the boldness, but I will say it. If the Muslim community can make 2-3 statements in public again and again. Number 1, we respect Hinduism. आज तक किसी भी मुसलमान लीडर ने पब्लिक में बारंबार नहीं बोला है कि हम हिंदू धर्म की कदर करते हैं. You have to say that publicly. Number 2 is even more important because I have read the Quran. I am writing another book on all the religions. I will be in touch with you, sir, to get your feedback on that, on Hinduism, Islam, Christianity. अभी मैं कुरान पढ़ के आया था, मतलब पिछले 1 महीने से पढ़ रहा हूँ. If you can say we are not interested in converting anybody to Islam, you say it publicly, इनका दम निकल जाएगा. They will be finished because that is the plank on which they are standing. I have an appeal. मैं बिल्कुल नतमस्तक होके मुसलमान कौम को मैं जिक्र करता हूँ, आग्रह करता हूँ, अनुरोध करता हूँ, विनती करता हूँ. I beg you make these 2 statements. We respect Hinduism and we are not interested in converting anybody. Say it again and again, openly and loudly. You will find a reaction from your own community. Inside your own community, a lot of people will oppose you. But for the sake of your community, for the sake of our society, for the sake of country, and for the immediate goal of doing something for 2024, it is like pulling the rug under their feet. They are finished. They have no. The only reason for the RSS to survive is Muslims and the threat from Muslims, not even Christians. You remove that threat and say हम सभी को respect करते हैं. That's it.
Dr. Muhammad Saad Belgami, JIH State President. Dr. Belgami addresses voting inefficiencies and said,
I can well say वतन की फिक्र कर नादां, आफत आने वाली है, तेरे बर्बादियों के मशवरे हैं आसमानों में. That is the gravity of the situation, the momentous nature of the type of changes that are being tried to be brought about. Indeed, there are some traditions and some futures of our country which are very long and time-tested and from time immemorial. They are also under threat, and some recent achievements of independent India, that is also is endangered. When I talk about long-term traditions, that is the Sahabalve, Sauhardate, Samarasya, ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೊಬ್ಬರು ಸಹಕರಿಸುವುದು, ಗೌರವ ಕೊಡುವುದು, ಪ್ರೀತಿಸುವುದು, unity in diversity, the spirituality, the plurality, the inclusiveness. This has been the nature of our great country for a very, very long time. Election time, 2024 is here, and again election in a democracy is like a festival. And India has a glorious tradition of holding elections every 5 years, and several elections happen in between. And we should be happy about the fact that through these elections we have brought about monumental changes. Post-emergency, post-Rajiv Gandhi, you can look into the history and see how in our country changes come about by the ballot box. So we should not underestimate the importance of 2024, and in that context as to what we can do. One is the People's Manifesto that FDCA has brought about and would probably release on this occasion. We need to reflect honestly and sincerely as to what is good for the country and what is good for the people of this country. So, public manifesto as to which way the country should move ahead, and to educate the electorate as to what importance their vote has and how they should exercise it is one important aspect. FDCA has engaged in this exercise for a long time, and FDCA we know has come about more than 25 years ago, and for a long time they have been talking about how we should promote communal amity and how we should promote constitutional and democratic values in this country. So पहली बात तो मौके की नज़ाकत को understand the gravity of the situation. Number two, the correct use of our vote, the power of vote that we have, that we exercise once in so many years, is very crucial. Unfortunately, people don't realize the importance of their vote. It is said that mostly amongst the weaker and poorer sections of the society, 10% of the people don't have a voter ID, 10% don't bother to vote, 10% would sell their votes for paltry gains, and 10% are too late to reach to the booth and find that their vote has already been exercised. In that way, nearly 40% of the vote gets wasted or gets misutilized. So it is important that we create this awareness amongst the voters, amongst the electorate, how important the occasion is and how important it is to use their vote in a correct manner.
Thank you for joining us in discovering the profound insights from today's discussions. Your support matters. Like, share, and subscribe to keep these conversations alive. Together, let's build a more informed and united tomorrow. Engage wisely.